Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the social science class. Students, I gave you all two videos from YouTube to go through. The videos was on the role of the public prosecutor and the judge. So I believe you all have watched the video. So students, that video will help you all to understand the role of the public prosecutor and the judge in the criminal justice system in a better way. Okay, so students, we will be discussing about whatever you have come to understand from those two videos. But before that, students, we will do a recapitulation of what we have discussed in our previous class. All right, so students, in our previous class we discussed the role of the first key player in the criminal justice system, that is the role of police. So through the discussion we came to know that the police is the role of police. It begins the moment the FIR is filed. Based on the FIR, the police conducts its investigation. What kind of investigation? The investigation may include gathering of material facts, evidences, collecting the statements of witnesses, and if the police believes that the accused person is guilty, then the police can file a charge sheet or a case against the accused person in the court. And the moment the charge sheet is filed in the court, the police role, it ends there. Okay, and that's where the role of the public prosecutor and the judge starts. So today we are going to discuss about what the public prosecutor and the judge does in the criminal justice system. All right, so students, your learning outcome for today's class is, after going through the videos and after this discussion, you all will be able to describe the importance of the public prosecutor and the judge in the criminal justice system. Okay, you all will be able to explain why the judge or why the public prosecutor is so much of importance in the criminal justice system. All right. Well, students, first of all, let me tell you all that any criminal offense which takes place, okay, it is considered as a public wrong or a public offense. Now you must be thinking why. This is because, students, any offense which is done to the victim or to a particular person, it is believed that it is not just done to that particular person, but the harm has been done to the entire society. Because the logic is that today it is me, tomorrow it can be you. So any criminal offense which is conducted, it is believed to have been committed not just against the victim but against the state, against the society. So students, if you all remember, the case that was the Shanti and Mrs. Shinde case, it was named as the state versus Shanti Hemram case. Do you all remember? So this means that Shanti was the accused person. She was accused of stealing the golden chain of Mrs. Shinde. So Mrs. Shinde was the victim in that case. So it was believed that the crime which was committed, the gold chain which was stolen of Mrs. Shinde, it could have happened with any person. Understood? So that is why the victim, that means the state takes the side of the victim. So therefore it is called the state versus Shanti Hemram case. All right. And students, if you all remember, there was another case where that lady Sudha Goyal, she died due to burns in a hospital, and her husband was accused, right? So her husband's name was Lakshman, and the case was the state versus Lakshman, because in that case Lakshman was the accused person and the state means the state represented whom? The state represented Sudha Goyal, who was the victim. All right. So this is why the term the state is used. State generally represents the victim against whom the crime has been committed. All right. Now students, from the video that you all have watched, you all must have come to know about the role of the public prosecutor. So public prosecutor is basically the lawyer who takes the side of the victim, who fights the case on behalf of the victim. All right. So the public prosecutor is none but the one who represents the interest of the state. State means the victim's side. All right. And the role of the public prosecutor, it begins after the police is done with its investigation. That means after the role of the police ends, the role of the public prosecutor starts. So the role of the public prosecutor, it takes place, or it starts the moment the police is done with the investigation and has filed the charge sheet in the court. Okay. And students, since he is a public official or he is a public representative, it is the duty of the public prosecutor to act impartially. Impartially means not to favor one particular party. Okay, so impartially means going in a neutral manner, supporting just the truth, not the person. So the public prosecutor, since he is a public representative, it is his utmost duty to act impartially without favoring any particular party, and present all the evidences, all the material facts, all the statements of the witnesses, and everything before the court, so that the judge can take the right decision, so that the judge can take the best decision. So whatever materials has been gathered by the public prosecutor, he should present it. Okay, he should present everything before the judge in an impartial way. All right. Another word for impartial is unbiased. Bias means BIAS. It means to favor someone. So unbiased means to go in a neutral way. Okay, just to favor the truth and not to favor the person. All right. So students, here comes the role of the judge. From the picture itself, you all can guess a little bit. So a day in the life of a judge. So here in a nutshell, you all can see the role of the judge. The judge instructs the jury members. Jury members is a particular panel of citizens who are chosen, who can, along with the judge, who can also take some decisions. Certain rights are also given to the jury members. Okay, so the judge, it instructs the jury members. It is the judge who establishes the court rules and procedures. That means the judge decides which rules should be established, which rules should be followed, and so on. Okay, then the judge decides, and the judge listens to the testimonies, whatever the witnesses have to say, whatever evidence have been presented. So the judge goes through all of that. Okay, and students, on the basis of all this, the judge determines whether the accused person is guilty or is innocent. Okay. So these are the key highlights of the role of the judge. So judge is compared with the umpire of the court. Okay, we all know that there is an umpire in game. So the umpire is the one who sets the rules and regulations and who decides which party is the winner, which team is the winner. Similarly, judge is the umpire of the court in the sense that the judge takes the ultimate decisions. It is the judge who sets the rules and regulations, right? And students, just like the public prosecutor is responsible for presenting the facts impartially, the judge is also responsible for conducting the trial impartially. Trial means all the proceedings which take place inside the courtroom. Okay. So students, the judge hears all the statements of the witnesses and goes through all the testimonies, the materials, evidences, etc. Okay. And on the basis of all this, it is the judge who gives the final verdict. Final verdict means the final decision. Okay. The decision on whether the accused person is guilty or innocent. Okay. And all this is done according to the law of the land. That means the law of the land is to be followed by the judge as well. Okay. And students, if the accused person is found to be guilty, or if he is acquitted, okay, then the judge pronounces the sentence. What kind of punishment should be given to him? He can be imposed some kind of fine, or if the crime or the offense is very much severe, then he can be sent to the jail, or if it is very much severe, then both fine can be imposed, and at the same time that person can be sent to jail. Sometimes lifetime imprisonment is given, sometimes that person may be hanged to death, etc. So depending on the severity or the intensity of the crime which has taken place, the judge decides the sentence or the level of punishment. Okay. So this is the role of the public prosecutor and the judge. Okay, students. So the public prosecutor is the one who presents the material facts and evidences before the judge, who fights the case on behalf of the state, that is on behalf of the victim. But the ultimate decision is taken by the judge by going through all the witnesses and evidences. All right. So students, today we have learned two new words, or you can say two important words. One is impartially, that means to go in a neutral way, just to follow the truth and not to follow any person, not to favor any person. And prosecutor. Prosecutor means the public prosecutor who fights the case on behalf of the state or on behalf of the victim. Okay. So students, these are your homework questions. Try to recall the cases of Shanti and Sudha. Okay, so the case of Shanti is from this chapter only, and the case of Sudha, it was from the chapter Judiciary. Okay, so you try to recall both the cases, both the stories. After recalling both the stories, who do you think was represented by the state in both the cases? That means you have to find the victim. So the victim is the one who is represented by the state. Okay. Then the second question, why is the judge in criminal justice system compared with an umpire in a game? So I have explained to you all, so you kindly frame the answer in your own sentences. Okay. And the third question is just a 1-mark question. When does the role of the public prosecutor begin? So I hope you all can do these questions, and in case you have any doubts or difficulty, do let me know. Okay. And students, as usual, you need to submit your work tonight between 8 to 9 p.m. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and see you all in the next class.